Hey guys, welcome back to the shed. Another episode of our Drunken History. Trav and I tonight are doing an homage to the greatest football team in the history of the world, in my opinion. The Green Bay Packers. Football season is right around the corner. Starts in 2 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks from today. Season starts. Most of you are probably knee-deep into your fantasy football drafts right now. It's a good time to be a fan. There's a lot of exciting changes this year. Davante Adams went to the Raiders. I don't fucking know why. But
well, and by the time the viewers and listeners are seeing and hearing this episode, we're probably going to release this episode on opening weekend. So we're ready for football already.
We are. Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football. We can do the Monday Night Football intro. I wonder if we get sued by the NFL if we use their intro for the video.
No, Hank Williams Jr. would stick up for us.
There we go.
Yeah,
he's a drinker. The old school.
He's a drinker. Yeah. Oh yeah, Carrie Underwood.
No.
She got nice legs.
Oh yeah.
But Hank.
Yeah,
Hank's my guy.
I like old Hank.
Yeah. That's the one I want to go with, just because.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a party?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To celebrate, kind of a couple things. The summer's coming to an end. Fall's right around the corner. It's kind of our last chance to drink a little summer beer, so we're drinking Leinenkugels summer shandy. It is fucking good. It tastes like summer.
It does. It's great. And since we're talking about the Packers, Leinenkugels is based out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Where it's brewed. And they have several flavors. It's crazy. The liquor store only had their summer shandy. I was wanting to get a variety pack. We could do that. But they have the variety pack of the orange shandy. They have a grapefruit. They have... and their original is amazing.
Yeah, this is the only one I've ever had, and man, it's on point. They did a good job with it.
And if you haven't had it before, it's basically lemonade mixed with beer, pretty much. So it's
like a man's Arnold Palmer.
It is. Oh yeah, there you go, man's Arnold Palmer. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I like it because I think Arnie would be proud of that too.
Yeah. I mean, he probably had a couple Leinenkugels.
Probably.
Yeah. As we said, we're doing the Packers. I'm a lifelong Packers fan. I guess it's kind of from being from the cold north.
Zach let me borrow his cheese head because I don't have anything Packers gear, so I'll wear this for a little bit to
until it cuts off the circulation.
Yeah, my head's a little bit bigger than his. It's a little bit fatter.
It doesn't fit me very well either. That's wall decor. I'm wearing a Jordy Nelson jersey. He was my favorite wide receiver for several years. I wish he still played. He was incredible. Davante Adams, he became my favorite ever, and when he went to the Raiders, it cut me deep.
Yeah. When I was a kid, being from Arkansas, we don't have a pro football team, so I just kind of followed players that I liked, and one of my favorite players as a kid, I played defensive line in football, so Reggie White was one of my favorite all-time. He was like a monster on the field, but a really good guy.
Yeah, he was a preacher.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So it was, but people feared him. He was a heck of a player.
Yeah, he was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really was. He was a big bastard too.
Yeah.
The Packers started in 1919. They are the oldest. They have spent the longest time in their home city of any team in NFL history. They've won the most championships of any team. They're the only team that's had two quarterbacks throw over 50,000 yards.
Wow, yeah.
Favre and Rodgers.
Old Favre.
They had arguably the toughest quarterback in history in Favre.
He played a game with a broken thumb. His throwing hand.
And he threw incredibly well. Like he kicked ass. But the one that got me out of his career, the one game that was the greatest was the game he played when his dad died.
Oh yeah.
And he had one of the best games of his career.
Yeah, because his dad had died just like a few days prior to that.
Yeah, 2 days prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was...
He said he played because he knew his dad would have wanted him to play the game.
Yeah.
And he went out and he had just a monster game.
You hear about that happening. There was it was, I want to say it was when Michael Jordan's dad died. Like, he came out, it was...
Yeah, his dad was murdered, though.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a wild... We might have to do a podcast on that. We'll get off on a tangent, but...
Yeah.
Talk about that. That's a crazy story, too.
It is, yeah.
But, yeah, then they come out after that and have an incredible season or incredible game. Usually, I think it kind of pays homage to...
Oh, yeah, and it's a good way to get your mind off what you're going through. And, it's a, 2-3 hour break from reality.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so as I said, the Packers started in 1919.
Yeah.
And they were originally started by Curly Lambeau and George Whitney. Curly Lambeau is where they got the name for Lambeau Field, which is where they play. But
he was a player coach.
He was a player coach.
He started the team. He was like the owner of the team,
and they were sponsored by the Indian Meatpacking Company.
Yeah.
So for their first season, they were the Indian Packers.
Okay.
And then they became the Acme Packers, and their colors actually were blue and yellow.
Okay.
Blue and gold, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Blue and cheese.
That's where they got the retro uniforms. They're like that navy blue color or whatever.
Yeah, those are actually my favorite uniforms.
I like them.
I do too.
I like it when the teams break out the retro old school uniforms and stuff.
Yeah, those are cool. They are.
Or what was it for the Thursday night games? They came out with
the color.
Where they were
what's it called?
The color splash.
Color bomb. Yeah, I don't fucking know. The ones, man, the Seahawks highlighter fucking uniforms.
Yeah, those are
hideous.
Loud.
Yeah.
One of the ones I don't like. It's one of those things. They're so ugly that you kind of like them. Is the Steelers like striped jersey uniform?
Oh yeah. Pittsburgh's got a history of weird ass uniforms. Just because in baseball they had that season where they wore shorts.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they wore shorts for a season. Everybody got fucked up legs.
Oh, I bet.
Then they wore the square top baseball caps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, man. You don't have to stand out that much.
Man.
Yeah, so the Packers have called a handful of places home, but Lambeau Field is their current stadium.
And they've been in that stadium for a while, haven't they?
They've been in Lambeau Field since 1957.
1957.
It was actually started as City Stadium in 1925, but their first home was called Hagemeister Park. They played there from 1919 to 1922. Then they moved to Bellevue Park, then on to City Stadium, which is Lambeau Field, just renamed.
Yeah.
They've also played at Marquette. They've played in Milwaukee as a home stadium.
Yeah, they played like some of their games part time there, didn't they? For
a very long time until I think 1995. They quit doing that. They stayed in Lambeau full time.
Almost like Arkansas that plays in Little Rock every once in a while.
Exactly, at what is it called? War Memorial Stadium.
War Memorial Stadium, yeah.
Yeah. So they did that. But they named it Lambeau Field in 1965 after Curly Lambeau had died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when they changed the name from City Field. Then it was New City Field. Then it was Lambeau. Very famous for the Lambeau Leap. Trying to talk Travis into after his.
Hope you guys enjoyed the beer pong episode. I hurt myself doing that intro.
It was hilarious. He did not hold back. It was a one take thing. He went full send. And
yeah, it was. I'm definitely not as young as I used to be. I did not bounce back as quickly as I.
He thought he popped a testicle.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was a fun one to
the things film. We do for show business.
Yeah, you're welcome. You are welcome, guys.
So if you're just listening to this episode, you're going to have to go to YouTube and check it out. We have it.
Guys. TikTok, the video's up.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, go follow our TikTok, our YouTube page, and our Twitter page. We try to post some video updates and clips, and we'll have a link to the full videos on there. Help us get that built up. We appreciate it.
Back to the Packers. They have won more league championships than any other team in history. Now, that's not Super Bowls, guys. That is total league championships pre-Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They are the only team from the NFL that beat two AFL teams in a championship in the first and second Super Bowls.
They won the first Super Bowl. That's right.
And the second.
And, it's crazy. That was what, 1967? Is that when that was?
Yeah.
My dad was telling me he watched that on TV, you know, when he was a kid, so he was watching the first Super Bowl. So that's pretty neat to be able to talk to somebody that has seen history.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. That's when they had Lombardi as a coach.
Yeah.
Who is obviously, that's where the Lombardi Trophy got its name.
What was so if you had Lombardi that was coaching, and they won the Super Bowl, what was the Super Bowl trophy called back then? It wasn't the Lombardi Trophy. World Championship Trophy. I don't know.
Probably should. I have to look that up.
Yeah.
I honestly never even thought about reading about that.
I think of those weird questions like that. Like, if it's named after the guy and he was there, how does that?
Yeah, he probably just signed it like here.
Here you go. This is now my trophy.
But that was when they had guys like Bart Starr, who was, you know, he was at the forefront of football in his day. He was one of the best players. Paul Hornung, another Hall of Famer. Jerry Kramer, a Hall of Famer. Ray Nitschke, who is still one of the best linebackers in history.
I'll switch the cheese head off.
You're getting like, you're glistening.
Squeezing my head a little bit.
You're getting a little sweaty. But yeah, they're just an amazing sports franchise, and they are the only publicly owned sports franchise in America, of which there are, I don't remember how many shares. It's over 500,000 shares out there.
So you're a part owner of the team, aren't you?
One share. I do get 4 tickets to the owners' meetings every year.
That's
I
awesome.
have yet to go, but I am going to go. It's kind of cool because they are the smallest market sports franchise in America, but they're the 27th highest valued sports franchise in the world.
Well, you think though they may be the smallest, say, market area like you're talking about, but they have some dedicated fans. Like, you see the stadium is full.
Yes, we are.
All the time. And then you have fans from all over, so it's not just your local fans, but now it's definitely a global or nationwide.
They are, yeah. They're, I mean, they're not on, you know, like the Cowboys are probably the world's, you know, most famous football team.
There for a little while, the Cowboys was the most expensive or the most valuable sports franchise in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think one of the European football clubs. I think
Manchester United, and then the New York Yankees.
Well, there was a few years where all three of those teams kind of flip flopped.
They were trading off.
Yeah.
Huh. So Super Bowl I was 66, not 60.
66.
Yeah. We'll have to. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
1966, the Packers won the very first Super Bowl ever, with Bart Starr at the helm. The team went 12-2, and they beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
In Super Bowl II in 1967, it was the final year that Lombardi coached. It's the coldest NFL game ever played. A lot of people called it the Ice Bowl.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but my dad told me that when he was watching that, one of the referees went to blow on his whistle, and when he pulled it away, he ripped off part of his lip.
Dang, because
the ice.
That's back when the whistles were metal whistles back then too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Ice Bowl is the coldest game in history. They played it against the Oakland Raiders, who are now obviously in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And now have Devontae Adams.
So
I'm going to keep saying that because it still pisses me off. Lombardi stepped down as the head coach after the game to become the head coach and an owner of the Washington Redskins.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he died in 1970 of cancer, and that is when the Lombardi Trophy was named the Lombardi Trophy. Highland Avenue in Green Bay was named Lombardi Avenue.
I figure Lombardi has all kinds of stuff named after him in Wisconsin, I'd bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like one of these days, there's going to be all kinds of stuff in Alabama named after.
After Saban, did you see that contract he just signed?
I haven't seen it. I heard it was.
Man, like $12 million a year as a college coach through 2030.
Dang. You know, he's like in his mid to upper 60s. You'd think he'd be getting ready to retire sometime soon.
But the thing is, that's probably all that's keeping him going.
That's true. That's true.
Some people lose their passion. They can't find a hobby, and then
Yeah.
he'd probably die in 2
Because
years.
I don't see him having the personality to be on TV, to be like a commentator.
Oh, but have you seen his interview, his post games?
Like he's a smart ass, or he's kind of.
Did you ever see the one where he talks about what was it, like Georgia Southern or something?
Oh.
And it said they ran through us like shit through a tin horn. Did you ever see that? Dude, it is fucking hilarious. He just goes off on a
Yeah.
like a 3-minute tirade about it, and then he's like, I forgot what the question even was. That was pretty damn good.
That's kind of what we do. We go off on a 5-minute tirade and we can't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out how you got there. So they won the first and second Super Bowls. Then they didn't win another one until 1996.
With Favre at the helm.
With Favre at the helm. They had a superb team. That's one of the best football teams I've ever seen in my life. Then they didn't win another one until Rodgers
Yeah.
took over at the helm. And it's kind of cool because they won with Mike Holmgren was the head coach
Yeah.
for Favre, and Mike Murphy was the coach for Rodgers. So my point is, I'm sorry, Matt LaFleur, I love you. You've been a great coach, but you need to change your name or
Yeah. Just change his name to Mike.
move on.
I think that you know, there's some people that are superstitious enough when it comes to sports that he might actually consider that.
I don't know, man. As I said, they are the only. They won the Super Bowl in 2010 with Rodgers. Had a phenomenal season, and actually, he has the second highest QB rating in history.
Yeah, he's pretty efficient.
Yeah,
passer.
the only person who has a higher QB rating is Mahomes.
Really?
Yeah,
Mahomes
but
threw a lot of interceptions last year too.
he had a down year.
Yeah.
But I mean, Rodgers has done it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Rodgers been in it for a while.
Yeah, and I'm not shit talking against Mahomes at all. The guy's you know, otherworldly, super talented, monster arm.
Yeah.
And I wish him all the best. He's fun to watch. He's great. But when you've been doing it for close to 20 years, that's
Yeah.
a whole other animal.
I think it's kind of funny though with Rodgers. He kind of likes to poke fun at the media, and he's always pulling like little pranks.
He's a dick. But I like it.
Well, anyway, he showed up to the first day of training camp looking like Nicolas Cage with the long hair and the wife beater shirt. And
I'll be honest with you, man. For with the contract dispute that they had, I really thought he was going to retire and go host Jeopardy.
Yeah, I was thinking he was either going to retire or go play for another team or something. But so I'm surprised.
Yeah,
because he's pretty disgruntled.
Yeah, I do wish he would have been a little bit more team friendly with his contract. I mean, in my opinion, he's the best. Brady's obviously the best quarterback in history, but man, Rodgers is the most talented quarterback in history, I will say.
Yeah, he's. I mean, with his arm, and then his efficiency though too. He's really proven that.
Yeah, he doesn't throw interceptions.
Yeah.
He has the ability to read the defense.
Yeah.
And he has the ability to put the touch on the ball that needs to be.
Yeah.
That it needs to be tossed with. He can hit an outside shoulder better than anybody I have ever seen.
I've seen him complete more, more just like Hail Mary into the game.
Yeah, that one with Richard Rodgers in the playoffs, man. I was in Jordan at a Jordanian military base there. We had
far enough down the field. Rodgers in trouble. It's going to get there. He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in him? In the end zone, it is caught for the win. Richard Rodgers with a walk-off touchdown. A game ender for the Packers.
We were intense watching that game, and it's funny. There's like 4 tents in a row, and these are big. The California tent or the Alaska tents.
Yeah,
we were in those, and ours was the furthest one on the end, and then there was 3 more in a row. And the guys on the far one said they could hear me screaming when he completed that pass, and I fucked up my voice for like a week and a half. Like I think I ripped a vocal cord.
Oh, that's funny.
But that was one of the coolest completions I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
And Richard Rodgers did a hell of a job catching that.
Rodgers to Rodgers.
It was, yeah. It was amazing. Rodgers has over 55,000 yards in his career, and he signed for 4 more years. Now.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know the details of his contract.
So you figure he's got I believe it's 10 seasons where he's thrown over 4,000 yards.
Okay.
In his career. I don't know what this year has in store without a. And no offense to the receivers that the Packers have, I'm looking forward to seeing them, but without a Devontae or a Jordy or
maybe one of those other guys can step up and maybe fill their shoes.
I really hope, or they could be the only team in the NFL this year that has 2 receivers or 2 running backs with 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, if you think about it, he's at 55-ish now, a little over 55,000. There's a 4 years of 4,000 yards. I mean,
yeah, there's
in the 60,000 yard club, which there are not many quarterbacks in that club.
Yeah, that would be able to put his name up there in the top of the.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. So as I said, they're the only publicly owned sports franchise in the United States. They are governed by a board of directors, and every shareholder gets a say in the board of directors. You get a proxy vote.
Yeah.
They send you a vote paperwork, and you got to check mark the names and send it back.
Okay.
Don't know who any of the people are.
Yeah.
But it says on there who they are.
Yeah. I guess it's up to you as a shareholder.
It is.
Do some research
they also run the Green Bay Packers Foundation that runs a lot of it's like a charity. Then they do a lot of activities with education, civic affairs, youth programs. They also do, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the bicycles. Have you seen this?
No.
It is pretty cool. So their practice field, their locker room is quite a ways away from it. So the kids from Green Bay will ride their bikes over, and then a player will pick a kid and ride his bike.
Oh, that is awesome.
Over to their practice field, and then they give the kid the bike back.
I think I saw that one. It was what's his name? Plays linebacker, long hair.
Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
I think I saw him riding like a little pink Barbie bike.
Yeah, he did. He did.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He was great. I wish he could have stayed. He went to the Rams. He did very well. He's from the first football family.
Okay.
When you think about it, I mean, I think his dad and his uncle are both in the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
He's got a cousin that plays. His brother played at Oregon and got drafted. Very, very talented family. Did you know that every Packers home game has been sold out since 1960?
No, wow. Well, we got to talking a while ago about how devoted and dedicated the fans are. I mean, dang. But no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just incredible statistics. The Packers, as we said, their fan base is called Cheeseheads due to The Wisconsin being kind of the cheese state.
Yeah, you gotta get some Wisconsin cheddar.
Yeah, some cheese curds are great. The cheesehead was an insult originating in 1987.
Really?
The Chicago White Sox called the Milwaukee Brewers fan base cheeseheads.
Okay.
And because it's all Wisconsin, the name stuck.
Yeah. Well, so it's one of those things, though, too. You can take an insult and embrace it, and then turn it around on.
Yeah.
That makes it not where it's not effective anymore.
That's yeah.
I just saw this. He's talking about the games have been sold out.
Mm-hmm.
There is the stadium seating capacity is a little over 72,000, and there's 86,000 names on the waiting list for season tickets.
It's a whole.
It's a whole other
city.
stadium.
It's a whole city.
Yeah.
Of people waiting for.
That's crazy because you got the stadium at capacity, and then you have a whole nother stadium's worth of people on the waiting list.
Just hoping for a chance. Yeah. The Packers do have the second most players in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just behind the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are number one.
Which the thing is too, like you think of the Bears, and kind of here lately they haven't been the greatest, but but back in the early days the Bears were.
Yeah, I know it was a huge rivalry. It really was, and I mean, in the 80s, with Singletary at linebacker, the Bears were one of the greatest. The '85 Bears were one of the greatest teams in history.
Yeah, then you had I think it was in the '70s. You had like Butkus that was a linebacker.
Yeah, I met him.
Really?
Yeah, he came and did I played in this youth football league when I was growing up, and I don't know why he showed up, but he showed up and did like a speech to all of us kids. It was really neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we didn't like hang out or anything. I got to shake his hand.
Yeah,
it
that's awesome.
Cool. I was going to explain how the stock works.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not going to say that it's a scam.
Yeah.
But what it is it's just like basically it's a pride share thing.
Yeah.
That is how they fund stadium improvements. Like if they want to expand seating, that's how I got my share. My dad got it for me for Christmas. I want to say 2011.
Okay.
I think. I was over in Afghanistan, and that's what he got me for Christmas.
That's pretty neat.
But yeah, they wanted to add a few thousand seats to the stadium, so they fund these improvements instead of asking the city for money or what, or you know, and they don't really have a single owner that can pay for this stuff, so they do stock sales.
Okay.
So
well, that's pretty neat, though. I mean,
but you can never sell your shares is kind of the deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if they allowed you to trade your shares, like it would make the team value fluctuate, and it could probably cause problems too.
Oh yeah.
And then you got all these other SEC filing paperwork you got to do and all that stuff too.
But it is a pretty cool thing to say, "Hey, I'm an NFL team owner."
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
they don't call me for advice, but they should.
So if you buy a bunch of shares when they do that, are you?
Honestly, I was reading about this, and this wasn't because of this podcast. I was just kind of perusing, I guess. And there's like 6 or 7 families that are like the majority owners.
Yeah.
And they own, more than everybody else combined. So they're the ones who are really in control.
So like when you get your vote, is your vote proportional to how many shares you own?
Yeah, you get a vote per share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, though, too.
It does. Yeah. I mean, but in all reality, I don't know who the fuck 99% of the people are that are on that ballot.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. It's not like I get a vote on who they, hire as the coach.
That would be nice.
Well, I'm pretty happy with LaFleur. He's had a good early run. He truly has. The guy's been great. He's young. He's bringing new ideas to what they're doing.
He's brought in a lot of female fans that like the game now too. Like there's a lot of people a lot of women that kind of started watching the game.
He's not an ugly man.
Yeah. So I mean, my wife watches football now with me when I'm watching the Packers.
She got a thing for LaFleur?
Yeah.
And Matt,
she's like,
follow us, bro.
I think I'm a football fan now.
Yeah, I always like watching because he's from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree.
Oh, okay.
So there's a rivalry between the Packers and the Niners that wasn't. I mean, they're both NFC, but there's a big rivalry because the head coach of the Niners and Matt LaFleur are like really good friends.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a big deal because the Niners were talking to Rodgers' people.
Oh, really?
Inquiring about getting Rodgers to come play in San Francisco. Because I don't know if you guys know this, Rodgers played his first 2 years at Butte Community College in Northern California, and then he transferred to Cal Berkeley, where Marshawn Lynch was his running back.
Because he was from Northern California.
He's from Northern California.
That's
so
right.
he was a Niners fan growing up, and during the draft, when the Niners did not pick him, you can watch the video. He was devastated. He truly was.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going to Green Bay, and I think it kind of. Well, Rodgers is a really competitive guy. I mean, every NFL quarterback is, but I think he's a little more than most.
Wonder if
I think it kind of lit a fire under his ass.
Because you kind of think that too. So I'm gonna show you what you missed. Like you should have picked me. And
beyond, I mean, he had a lot of shit stacked up against him too, because you figure he rode the bench for 4 years behind Favre.
Yeah.
And finally, Favre, moved on to the Jets and then to the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I think he was as sick of it as everybody else was. Favre kept going back and forth whether he was going to retire or come back and retire and come back, and then eventually the Packers said, man, like, we can't fucking do this every year.
Yeah.
It's Rodgers' turn. So he went and signed in New York, and he did okay there, and then went and signed in Minnesota, and he did okay there. He's always a Packer,
I was a little
forever,
disappointed when the Vikings got beat by New Orleans during that playoff run they had.
It would have been cool to see Favre get one more ring.
Yeah. But I was a big Favre fan, just from his toughness. Yeah, he threw a lot of interceptions.
Do you know who Favre's first NFL completion was to?
It was to himself.
Yeah, to Brett Favre. He got batted by a defensive lineman and he caught it. Not many people know that.
Yeah, it was Favre.
Do you know who he played for?
Who? What's that?
Do you know who he played for?
I was the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Good
job. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he played. I think he only played for them one season. Yeah, he got drafted by them, and then they traded him.
Yep.
Man.
You guys, if you aren't a football fan, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And if you aren't a Packers fan, then you're not a football fan.
See, I'm a fan of the game because that's usually, people ask me who my favorite team is, and usually I really don't have a team. I like players. I'll follow different teams for different players.
I think fantasy football has done that to a lot of people. Because you get torn if you got a guy playing for the opposing team, even if they're going against your favorite team. You're like, oh, you do well, but your team lose. It does.
Exactly.
I always told my dad and I are in some leagues together, and I always tell him if it ever gets to the point where fantasy football becomes more important to me than real football, I'm quitting fantasy football.
Yeah.
So I'm always gonna go in real life for my team first, and even if it hurts me in fantasy, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's, I guess, probably too with me. It's growing up not having an actual local team. It's like when it comes to college football, I mean, I'm bleed Razorback red through and through, even when we suck. But which we went through the Chad Morris era.
Hey, they're doing well now, though.
They're doing good.
They are.
Where I'm. So actually, this video is going to come out a week after we played Cincinnati in the opening. The season opener, so hopefully we did good in that game.
I think we did.
I hope we're going to manifest it now. We won that game.
I was never a Razorbacks fan growing up, but I am now.
Yeah.
I've adopted them as my home team.
That's good.
I'll always be a Montana Grizz fan, but
yeah,
Razorbacks are where it's at now.
Usually, is what I end up doing is because I'm such an Arkansas fan, I'll follow Arkansas players that get drafted and kind of watch those teams that they play for and kind of see, even like the basketball and baseball players too. I'll watch MLB and NBA games So one of our players this last year played for the Warriors, Golden State Warriors. They won the NBA championship this year.
Yeah.
So He was his rookie season. That was Moses Moody.
Yeah.
And he so
Yeah.
first year in the league, he won the championship.
That's pretty damn cool. I'm obviously a Yankee fan, so I like to watch Benintendi.
Yeah.
Even though he played for the Red Sox for a while, but
yeah. He got traded to the Yankees.
he got traded to the Yankees from Kansas City.
I haven't even seen how
Arkansas
he's
Flash.
doing. Yeah.
He had a rough go
Oh yeah.
to start, yeah, but he's picking it up.
That's good.
He's doing well.
Look at that.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but let us show you the secret behind the cheesehead.
Oh, I think we figured this out. Maybe so. If you're a Green Bay fan watching this, maybe you can let us know.
This is also an instructional video.
So you got your cheese head, right? But it's got this cutout on the other side where you got where your head goes, but it's got these other cutouts right here. But we're thinking this is how it works. You can turn it upside down when you're sitting in the stadium, we're watching the game.
Now your beer is right there. It's cold. You dump your nachos in the middle, or your curds.
Yeah. And then it's got
I'm out of beer, so I'm gonna have to do a beer pause after this.
But yeah, you got your.
There we go.
You can put your beers, your plate of nachos, or your hot dog or whatever in the middle, and now you got a table on your lap, and it's foam, so it keeps your beers cold.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And do you think they put
the Packers think of everything?
So either they were genius in planning this, or we're geniuses for figuring this out for inventing this.
Well, here's the thing. And this is the definition of it. You have discovered something, even if you're not the first person to find it.
That's right.
If you find it on your own with no other outside influence, you also discovered something. So I will say that in the shed tonight we discovered this. I'll be honest with you, Travis discovered this.
It was great.
But it's my cheesehead, so I take half of it.
You're a majority owner.
I got one share of the cheesehead table.
So yeah, we thought that was a pretty good little invention. I bet you that's got to be what it was for.
I mean, it only makes sense.
Is this has a 1987 on the stamp right here? Is that how old this is?
No, I honestly don't even know how I got that.
Maybe that's just when it was patented.
I mean, the thing could be an antique. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. But I got it. It's
Oh man.
yeah, somehow it's one of those things that you mysteriously acquired.
Mysteriously acquired. Did you fight somebody in the parking lot for that?
Probably after drinking too many Leinenkugels.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I'm gonna pause for a beer grab here.
Beer break.
Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy is a crisp, refreshing beer, perfect for summer. Inspired by Franz Kugler, whose Munich tavern was overrun with thousands of thirsty bicyclists. He mixed beer with lemonade and it was a hit. Like his, our doors are always open, so come visit the Leinenkugel family.
Awesome.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So yeah, as we said, while we're talking about the Packers in Wisconsin, we're drinking some Leinenkugels. It's one of my favorite beers. And
how did you first hear of Leinenkugels?
there was when I was living in Vegas, one of my friends out there had some, and he basically introduced me to it.
Yeah.
But it was the Leinenkugels original, and it's really good. It really, we call it. To me, it tastes just like Fruity Pebbles, the cereal, and it's like that fruity, sweet flavor. It's crazy. It works though.
I love Fruity Pebbles, so I'll give it a shot.
And,
I got Fruity Pebbles pancake syrup in the house.
Fruity Pebbles pancake. I've never heard of that.
It's in there. You can have some.
Just gonna chug it like they do in Vermont.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he showed me the Leinenkugels original, and I thought it was great. And then I've discovered the orange shandy. It's a seasonal that they
yeah.
And then the summer shandy.
Yeah.
Now.
This is the only Leinenkugels I've ever had. I first learned of Leinenkugels from a wonderful film.
Wonderful film.
A wonderful
You've
film.
told me about this.
It's a movie that my dad introduced me to. In about 2002, 2003. It's written and directed by Jeff Daniels.
Okay.
It's known as Escanaba in the Moonlight. It's about, I'll get a quick synopsis of the film. It's two brothers, Reuben and Remnar, at their deer hunting camp with their father. And all the weird shit that can happen at hunting camp.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode one day from the woods or something.
On location.
On location.
But they played a game. I don't even know the name of the game.
Oh, yeah.
But the girls took a roll of toilet paper and put it between their legs, and the guys put a broomstick, or no, it was a pool cue. It was a pool cue between theirs, and they had to put the pole in the hole.
Put the pole in the hole.
Yeah, and the winner got a free case of Leinenkugels. Thank you very much.
We'll have to find that video and put that on there. Maybe we can.
They was playing this game, eh? They put all the guys on one side and all the girls on the other. And we each got a cue stick off of the pool table there. And the gals all got a roll of toilet paper. Free case of Leinenkugels, thank you very much.
It's the first half of the movie is hilarious. I got some great quotes.
Yeah.
The second half kind of goes off the rails a little bit. It's odd.
Kind of like our podcast a lot of times. They start off pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. They were drinking throughout making the movie.
And they went off the rails.
It is a funny movie, though. It does have some of the best movie quotes you have never heard.
Maybe we have to do one of those where they, some of those podcast channels, they watch movies or videos and critique or review them.
Reviews, yeah. You would get a kick out of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you're watching this, you probably would too.
Yeah, go watch it. I think you said it was on Apple.
I think it's on Apple TV right now. I have it on DVD.
Got it. I
don't even have a DVD player. But I have that movie on DVD.
You know, one of the first DVDs I ever owned, it's still, I think, one of my favorite movies ever. Super Troopers was my first DVD I ever owned.
I saw that in the theater, and I had never even heard of it.
I don't
even remember who I went with, but they wanted to go see this movie, and I was like, and I hadn't seen previews.
I've seen that movie probably 100 times.
Yeah, that's a fucking good movie.
Yeah. So the guys from Broken Lizard, maybe we could have you on the show one of these days.
Yeah, man, I'd be cool with that.
Those guys are probably fun to drink with.
Yeah.
They made a movie about drinking, Beer Fest.
Yeah, Beer Fest.
We could film Beer Fest Part 2. Okay.
Educate me about Leinenkugels.
Educate you about Leinenkugels. So it was founded in 1867.
It's an old beer.
And it's known as the Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company. And Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, I hit you up on Twitter a few weeks ago and said, hey, would you guys be interested in sponsoring a podcast episode? And they wrote back, at least they did write back, and they said, no, sorry, we don't sponsor podcasts. So I was hoping we could get a case of Leinenkugels and maybe a t-shirt or a hat or something, but...
Yeah, I would take a coaster.
But, I mean, so do you other beer companies out there. We like t-shirts.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's just a shameless plug there, but...
I'm no shame.
But I'm still going to drink Leinenkugels. I'm not that mad.
Yeah, we're drinking tonight. We'll probably drink the rest tomorrow.
And I will definitely drink more in the future.
Yeah.
So, their parent company, they're owned by the Molson Coors Brewing Company.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought they were like purely a microbrew.
They started off as just like a local brewery and kind of meandered along through the years and really didn't get too big for a long time. And then they started trying to expand in the 1970s. So they were bought out. Actually, Philip Morris owned Miller Brewing Company in the 80s.
Like Philip Morris?
The cigarettes, yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
So they owned Miller.
They're just all in all the bad stuff.
Yeah, all the vices, all the bad habits. So
you're going to tell me they own a casino.
Yeah, they probably do. But yeah, so they bought them out in the 80s, and then Miller got bought out and became combined with Coors and Molson. Molson's, I think, the Canadian beer
Molson.
company. Yeah,
I like Molson.
but
Have you had Molson?
I have. It's been a long time, though.
I love it. Molson is I fucking love that stuff.
They had their original, like a Bavarian style German beer for a long time, and then the sales really weren't doing so well, and then they came out with the different shandy beers that they're actually, the shandies that they have now is actually what kind of brought them up out of obscurity.
I could see that because no one else makes anything like this, really. I mean, you have your like Blue Moon is a wheat beer. It's kind of citrusy, whatever.
But it's actually a Hefeweizen wheat beer. It's not really, and like you're saying. So this has filled a niche that probably people didn't realize they wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they released their shandies, they released the Summer Shandy in 2007, and sales really took off after that, and it brought them up. So they've expanded, and we can put some pictures up of the brewery. That's like they got like a big old like an old barn looking thing at the brewery, and then,
like how like a family owned brewery should look.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a pretty neat company. They make some good beer.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So they have two breweries. The original brewery is located in Chippewa Falls or Chippewa Falls, and then they have another one located in Milwaukee.
Makes sense. Do you know where Chippewa Falls? Did you know Chippewa Falls became more well known because of Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
In Titanic.
Really?
When
is that where he said he was from or something?
That's where he fell through the ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that movie twice. I don't know why I remember that.
That's crazy. I refused to watch that movie for years.
Really?
I knew how it ended.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I think we went through all our information that we have about the Packers and Leinenkugels. It's some great beer. It's a great football team. We're getting all ready for football season to start off.
We are, yeah.
To kick off, I should say, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
thank you guys for being a part of this. As we said, we know most people are getting ready for or have already finished their fantasy football drafts. If you still have yours to go, a lot of people do them out at bars. If you guys do, have a good draft, get some drinks, but be safe on the way home.
make sure you have a plan.
Call your wife, call an Uber, have a DD. Again, with the season kicking off, there's going to be a lot of tailgating.
Yep.
Be safe through all of that. We don't want anybody to make poor decisions. We both learned from our mistakes over the years, so learn from us.
Yeah, we want to keep people safe, keep people have fun. You don't want to ruin it by making some bad decisions.
Yeah. But enjoy it, guys. Like we said, football season's around the corner. This is my favorite time of year. It's football season starting, baseball season's winding down. We're getting to the playoffs. Hunting season's getting ready to kick up.
It's a great time.
The weather is not going to be so fucking hot,
it's gonna start cooling down.
Enjoy the segue into the fall.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you can, be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hit us up on TikTok. We appreciate all the likes and follows and the support. You guys are awesome.
We'll see you guys. Thank you.
Have a good one.